My name's Charlie Danzoll. I am a consultant, independent consultant, focusing on management and strategy for international nonprofits. I've been in the sector for approximately 30 years, working with different organizations for the past 7 years as the consultant. My journey with SAS started with doing a consultancy for Search for Common Ground as they were implementing their new strategy, and they were looking at how they could support the transition of Search for Common Ground in countries where they have made a decision to exit. And so they had decided to look at how that exit would work, whether organizations would stop or whether they would carry on some of the work as independent entities separate from Search for Common Ground. And they brought me in to help them with that process based on my experience with working with other organizations around how do you celebrate and ending a relationship within a country where you may have been working for 20, 30, 40 years. And so after that, they brought me in, asked me if I wanted to join the advisory group. I look at the journey of localization or strengthening local empowerment as a critical through line of all the work that I've done in the multiple countries and with the many organizations that I've worked with. I think it's what all of us in many ways have been striving to achieve, which has been how do you empower local decision making, how do you strengthen local capacity to be able to support the work that's being done on the ground. This has been part of the work that I've really enjoyed in my consulting work, has been supporting organizations to go through that process as they either exit or they make a decision that they want to empower the country offices and transition them into local entities, if that's what these entities are thinking about doing. So that's what's brought me to SAS and being on the advisory board, because it's something that I believe is critical for moving forward as the sector evolves and changes in such a rapid manner. When I found out about SAS, I felt that these were fantastic tools for organizations. And one thing that I found is that a lot of organizations are going through this process, and I have referred them numerous times to the SAS tools that have been developed. And I felt that they are relevant, they are practical, they're useful for large and small organizations. And I felt that I've used them in some cases with clients that I'm working with and found them to be highly relevant. The work that SAS is doing, and I think the important part here is not only that SAS is doing, but there's a number of other kind of research organizations that are doing similar kinds of work in the UK and Europe and in other places as well in the South. And how do you bring all these groups and entities and research institutions together to share their lessons learned and to build on that? So what I would like to see is obviously more demand for the SAS work that's been done, and also how does SAS collaborate across different institutions and organizations to be able to be a platform for learning. Because a lot of organizations are doing this. They're repeating some of the same problems and challenges and building either tools in-house because they don't know about SAS, or they're, maybe there's too much organizational inertia and not wanting to branch out and learn from what others have done. So there's a lot out there that I think SAS can do to get the word out on the work that it's been doing, as well as the collaborative side, which I think is also really valuable at this point, given how much this trend has really kind of taken over the sector.